We all know that our IT colleagues like DevOps, SREs, or IT Ops team, so they are working very hard day by day for making sure that everything is up and running. Everything means the infrastructure, the network, the storage, the cloud platforms, right? So they not want to face any kind of blocks or issues when they're doing the perform the activities and all. So they are making sure that the environment is up and running. They have the responsibility for deployment. So nowadays CI/CD is there, so continuously, the development team pushing the code. You have to do a lot of testings. Everything goes good. It should be deployed on the production environment finally, right? So that is the current situations. So the thing is, when the IT teams are doing like this, the same time they need to make sure the customer experience also good. So if they cannot face any kind of lag or slowness in the applications, because the applications are more on customer centric, right? So this really makes the IT team members to work in a proactive mode of IT operations. So did you ever think about what should be the reason for this, IT or IT team to be in a reactive mode? So the main reasons that find by the IT experts are, the change in IT landscapes. So we all know that for the past few years back, we had a lot of microservices, Kubernetes. So that means the monolithic applications has been converted to microservice applications. There are a lot of dynamic environments coming. So when talk about dynamic environments, it's clear that these microservices or the software defined networks, everything comes in online. They perform the task, they generate some kind of traces, they generate some kind of logs, and then they disappear. So as an IT person, they should able to always look on the trace, errors, logs, alert, metrics. But when they have looking to that, the log monitoring tools and solutions, that moment the microservices may not be there live, because it may kill, or it may be another microservices come in place, or it may be a serverless environment. So different situations will be there, right? And the third challenge is the data volume. So nowadays, the data volume is pretty huge, high compared to a few years back, and the logs are generating a lot. So we need a good amount of, manage the logs, alerts, metrics. The IT teams cannot able to eyeball all the logs that is generated or produced by the application stack. And thirdly, the team members are working on silos. So there are a lot of new BUs coming. So there may be a shared DevOps team or IT teams will be available there for the organizations. But the main challenge is the development team. They were using mono polyglot style of applications that they work on their own standards. So these are the main challenges of making harder for IT observabilities. So what is the solution we recommend? So what we need? So basically, we need to convert our IT friends from a reactive mode of IT operations to a proactive mode of IT operations. So when I say the reactive mode, like as you know, in there should be a monitoring system will be there, or observability system. When there is an issue or something happen, so basically it will alert. It will send you some notifications, right, on your chat tools, or sometimes email notifications. So when the IT team members get these notifications, what they do is they quickly acknowledge and they jump into the system, and they have finding the issues. They check the logs, they check the monitoring systems, and they find the root cause analysis, right? So that is something like the issue has been happened. There should be an acknowledgement, and then they will act on it. So we need to convert this mode of a reactive mode of IT operation to a proactive mode, which means that your IT team should able to have some kind of tools that have the capability of AI and machine learning, like anonymity detections, similar tickets. There are many algorithms are available, right? So they should able to understand, okay, the occurrence uh, of a potential issue that may happen in your environment or the application stack. So which helps the team to move into a direction of proactive mode of operations. So for this, we have IBM Instana product. So we call it as IBM Instana and Enterprise Observability Tool. So this helps you to get a real-time, observability of your entire stack, including your platform, including your application stack, including your, serverless environments, say for example, AWS Lambda, including all the layers of applications, networks, as well as storage layers. So unlike like the competitors like Instana, the Instana perform the polling of data per second, and Instana do a full stack observability, which means that there is no sampling of logs or something should be happening on Instana side. So how you can introduce Instana into your environment, right? So that will be now you guys thinking. So basically, Instana, IBM Instana is providing on two different variants. One is on a SaaS version, and second is on-prem. On-prem means you can download the Instana binaries and everything. You can bring up your own VMs and you can install in that VM and you can run the Instana backend over there. So second option is SaaS option. So just go ahead, sign up for a 14 days trial. You will get credentials. You will get a portal login. So once you log in, you can able to download an agent. So which means that our Instana work on agent base, right? So a single agent. So I'm pretty much clear is that it's a single agent. So no need for different agents based on the technology, right? So the single agent can able to hold around 300, more than 300 sensors are available, which means that you have to install the single agent on all the virtual machines or the application stacks, which you need to be monitored or observable. So once you install, there is no other requirements or there is no need for port opening or there is no need for any kind of configurations changes required. You can see the result on the dashboard. Okay, so it's a single agent that will able to do the auto configurations and should able to identify your platform, whether your platform is VMware or maybe Kubernetes or a PCF or or on-prem, whatever maybe, Instana should able to understand. And the more beauty is Instana could able to tell you what are the softwares you installed on the particular VM, what are the different process running, or what are the different services running. So as a IT engineer, you don't need to do any kind of configuration setups for making the Instana live up and running. Okay, so how Instana helps you to gain this much of productivity in your organizations? So once you have in place the Instana helps to reduce your MTTR, mean time to resolve, by 52%. And the deployments, you can increase the velocity of deployment to 3 times, and it will helps to reduce the developer's time by 20%. So when I talk about these numbers, there should be some supporting facts should be there, right? So I can divide the Instana's key features into three different pillars. The first one is automate, second is context, and third one is intelligent action. Okay, so as I said, this is a single agent, right? So your role is to install the agent only. So you can use Ansible or maybe any kind of script to roll out the installation if you have hundreds or thousands of virtual machines. So once it's installed, everything will be automatically discovered. So you don't need to do any kind of reboot, or you don't need to do any kind of labeling, or you don't need to do any kind of taggings and anything like that. So it will understand what are the underlying technologies and everything will be used. So it will give you a full stack of visibility of your application and your code base, your program, your network service and everything. And second one is it give you not only an alert, it give you a full context of the issue, which means that sorry, I just mute for a moment. Okay, so the Instana gives you a full context of related issues and everything, which means that during the time of IT operation in older days, we got an alert only, right? Which means that the CPU may be spike or maybe memory issue and memory leaking or something like that. So instead of that, Instana will collect all the related informations for particular to the context, for the particular to that issue, which means that it will collect only the relevant logs, it will collect the relevant metrics, traces, and it will combine everything and will send a good RCA in front of you. So basically, RCA will come under intelligent action. The second main point is it not only inform you an issue, it will helps to, you know, I tell you where the particular issue resides or what should be the reason for the particular issue. What are the supporting logs or traces? So you can easily pinpoint the issue. No need for going for an eyeballing for all the logs, metrics, and events like that. The third important point of Instana is intelligent action. So when I talk about intelligent action means it will give you an RCA, like root cause analysis of a particular issue. It will tell you what are the guided next steps what I need to follow as an IT ops team. So it will guide you, Instana will guide you for the recommended things, what they have to perform, what are the different smart alerts that is available for the particular issue. So it will definitely helps you to free up your times. Okay, so moving on to the three main pillars in a little bit more depth. So as you can see in the slide, so once I install the Instana agent, you would see a infrastructure layer which is capable of pulling up of all the virtual machines, what are the different types of VMs, what are the different types of softwares that you have installed, everything. So this pictorial will be coming, and when you mouse over on this particular virtual machines, you can see how many processes are running, what are the different software installed, whether there is any issue related to the particular virtual machine or the infrastructure is there. So on a single plane of glass, you can see all the information. And when I talk about Instana agent, so you are as a IT engineer, just installation one time, then you just leave it. When I say leave it, when a new version of Instana agent come, what it do is it has the capability for self updating. It will do auto updating. So when I talk about auto updating, some of my friends will think about is there any kind of issues will be happening on the particular release, how they can able to roll back like that, right? So basically, you may not occur that kind of issues. That is that we see from the past years. So if there is any kind of issues has been happen, the Instana agent have the capability for rolling it back itself. So it will have a feature for self-monitoring. It do auto updating, and this is a single agent. So it will do the continuous, discovery of your application. Say, for example, as we know, our environments are not very much volatile, right? So now we are installed some of the particular softwares on one virtual machine. We have Instana on place. We are doing the observability. All are good. But one of our colleague may install another software or maybe another process may be running based on some other situations. So as an IT operation team, normally what we have to do is we have to do some changes in the configuration so that the new changes will be get monitored in the monitoring tool, right? But in the case of Instana, there is no need for extra configuration changes. So when your IT team member introduce a new software, say for example in the virtual machine where it is running a .NET Core, you install a Python application. So basically no need for making any changes in the configuration of Instana to get monitored for the Python. Instana agent will automatically do the continuous discovery. It will check the configurations and it will create a dependency map. So basically the dependency map is one of the key feature of Instana, which helps to give you a full stack visibility of, on the context of the issue. So the dashboards and everything is automatically coming. So by default, a basic set of, configuration widgets and everything will be pop up automatically once you install the agent. No need for any kind of, any kind of configuration dashboards has to be done from your side. But if you need any kind of, a high-ended customized reports, you have the widgets and everything are easily customizable. Okay, so moving on the second part we basically focus on data in context. So as I said earlier, the dynamic graph is one of the key element for giving you the context information. The first graph, we see a high level picture of your data center or your cloud, the different hyperscalers, the different environments. So in the second stage, it focuses more on your applications. So your application, maybe you have 5 worker nodes of Kubernetes. Inside this 5 worker nodes, you may have 20 or 30 microservices, maybe pods or containers are running. So you don't need to worry about the interconnections between that. So once you install the agent, you can see a graph on the slide. So this is the graph is called dynamic graph. So it will understand which microservices are related to each other. So these dots in the demo, I will show particularly on this. You can see these packets are moving. So these packets, if moving fast, which means that latency is very high. And if there is any kind of red dots available, which means that there is some kind of, incidents or issues on the particular node-to-node communications. So as an IT engineer, by looking at this application perspective view, you should able to understand what's happening on my application stack. So this graph automatically come. You don't need to do any kind of settings or any kind of configurations. The perspective of application will be plotted here dynamically. And Instana have the capability for you to integrate with other open source projects like logging or integrations with other systems. So basically, if in your organization you are using some other system for monitoring, you can bring the logs over here, or you can take the Instana data over to your other platform as well. Okay, the last pillar is intelligent action. So when I talk about intelligent action, Instana could able to give you RCA, root cause analysis. So on the diagram, you can see it can go to your code level to check the stack related informations. So when I talk about your code level, means that we are not seeing any kind of logs. So we dynamically pull down your application informations, and our AAML feature could able to understand where in the line of the code have this issue. Okay. So Instana provides you the root cause analysis with correlated alerting and incident reporting through a guided troubleshooting fashion. So Instana, one of the key feature of Instana is it could able to understand the deployment, which means that normally when the issues are pop up, when there is a change happen in the environment. So mainly on a high level, two types of changes may happen. First one is introducing a new version of application, right? The second one is if there is any changes in the configuration. So if we not do any these two kind of actions, the issue may happen when there is a more demand of application, means the more users are coming to the using our application, there may be some kind of memory issues may happen. So other than that, the main kind of changes or the happening is deployment as well as the change in configuration. So Instana have the feature for you to easily identify or can troubleshoot easily whether the issue has been happened during the time of or after the time of deployment, or is it something related to any configurations. So the intelligent actions will helps you to guide you and will helps you to find the RCA. So the key differentiator when compared to the competitors, as I said, Instana perform the fidelity of data in 1 second. So when I say 1 second, it means a lot. So where our competitors are doing 5 seconds of interval, you may miss a lot of informations that is related to your troubleshooting in between that. So we're doing 1 second of granularity level, and we do complete accurate data, which means that there is no sampling. So whatever informations that is generated from your environment, your surveys and everything, we are giving as such. And the pricing is very transparent. It's basically per agent, which means that if you have 10 VMs need to be do observability, you need 10 license. So the license is per agent. And all the features are available for each license. Unlike our competitors, they are giving X amount of dollar for particular feature only. For Instana, you will get all the complete feature as a complete suite, and you don't need to do any kind of automated, configuration settings, port opening or service restart. everything is done by itself, and we are the leader for the Gartner report. And by default, a lot of intelligent dashboards are everything being created automatically by Instana. Okay, so before moving to demo, just a recap, like a single agent, we do zero auto configurations. So which means that as an IT engineer, just install the agent, then leave it. Everything will take care by Instana itself. It do the automation, it do the uh, complete fidelity of data. It do the dashboards with intelligent, root cause analysis. So apart from the observability part capability of Instana can able to use as a replacement for analytics purpose. For example, if you have a website and you want to understand how your website perform a user behavior like synthetic monitoring, or it can do detect any kind of JavaScript issues on your website, like a website monitoring also possible, and it can do your business process automation monitoring also. But in today's topic for the demo also, I will be focusing more on application observabilities. So let me pause for a bit for any questions before I move to demo. Okay, so let me share my screen back. So I hope everyone can see my screen, right?
Yes, Steven.
Okay, so let's start from the agent. So once you register for a SaaS account, you will get a username and password. So you have to key in your username and password over here. The first thing is agent installation, right? So again, here you can see different options. If you want to install an Azure, Google Cloud, AWS EC2 instance, or if it is a Kubernetes operator or Helm chart, or our normal Linux archive, package. So here you can choose whether you need dynamic or static, and then perform which architecture it is, and view the deployment agents. So this will helps you to, you know, download, and this agent can able to roll out in your applications. So if it is a Kubernetes Helm chart, just copy paste this YAML file and you can able to deploy. And once it's deployed, what you can see is you can see a infrastructure view like this, right? So here you can see this node is having some issue. It's a red color, and this is going to be some kind of medium level of issues. And when I mouse over here, you should able to see what are the different. So here there is nothing. So this is a WebCR. So this is the JVM, and this is the applications over here, and what are the services running should able to pop up here. Here have one air agent only installed. So like that you can able to see what are the different process or different softwares installed. So in this VM, you can see there is a file monitoring process, Instana agent, and JVMs are running. So let me move on to the application view. So in this Instana agent, I have this much of applications installed. So when I click select one of the applications, so this is one of the applications which my customers are using. Its name is Caught of the Day, right? So by default, once the installer agent has been installed, you will get this kind of dashboard. This is called golden signal defined by Google. So you can see the different calls. What are the call rates? Is there any kind of issues like enormous call rate? What is the latency? If there is any kind of infrastructure issues, what are the top APIs that causing based on latency, calls, or enormous rate, processing time? As you can see here, Caught of the Day have some issues. So you can see the different level of indications, which helps you to identify the issue very fast and easy way. So here we have different options, like based on, you know, releases, you can do, you can go back and see what happened on that particular release time. So you can see this is a microservices like discount. We do a canary deployment, and you can go ahead and roll back to see what happened during this, release time. So now I use date range. And as I said earlier, we do 1 second granularity level of monitoring. So we have the option for, last minute, and I can put it in a live mode. So if I do so, you can see your infrastructure are related to this application. So this application may be running on 5 worker nodes having Kubernetes, and it may be on AWS or any public cloud. You can see all the information related to this application stack over here. So when I move on to dependency tab, you can see the dynamic graph, right? So as I said earlier, you can see the packets moving, and this we have one issue. So when I click on this issue, you can able to directly go to that, and we can see what's the root cause of the issue. So here the packets are moving quite normal. It's okay. So we have one web container, we have engraving, PDF, QR code. These are all different containers. So how these containers connect each other. So this full picture will automatically come. You don't need to do any kind of configurations or settings to bring this, dynamic graph come up. So I am more interested on this. So I can just click on this, and I can see, go to analytics. I can go to see the flow, or I can go to see the particular dashboard itself for particular this container. So when I click on this, it will take you to the summary of this particular page, and you can see it is QM1, which means it's a messaging queue, I believe. And the beauty is you can go ahead and see the stack level of information. So you can see this application is running on Kubernetes, and what is the infrastructure. So the infrastructure is this one and having the issue, right? So here you can see the call. So this is related to infrastructure issue, not an application issue. So basically it's an infra issue, not a code level of issue. So you can here go and see the flow. You can check. So here you can see what are the different connected components which cause the issue. You can see the endpoints. So it's messaging queue. So calls 3 logs are there. Okay. So when we click on this, you can see the incident as well. So this is the incident that has been created for the particular issue. And you don't need to create any kind of, in Instana, you don't need to configure any kind of threshold for creating you know, the incidents or the monitoring levels like that. Because what it do is it has the capability of machine learning capabilities, which will understand your infrastructure, and Instana will suggest you the threshold. Say, for example, Instana will suggest, okay, if your application stack is for the past few weeks of time, this is the particular data, and we need to put the threshold as 60% or 50% like that. So basically, as a IT ops team, you don't need to basically control for the percentage wise of threshold and everything. Instana will bring you the particular key figure of percentage, whether how much threshold I need to put. But again, as a customer, you have the flexibility. You have the flexibility to make the changes as well. So this is completely a dropping of number of requests. You can see over there, and you can particularly see what time it happened. So something goes wrong on the infrastructure layer on this side. So when I dig more into this, I can see like some automation. These are some automation policies. So when an incident has been happened, Instana could able to run a kind of remedy that can able to fix, we can create policies that can able to fix the issues. So the recommended actions and everything. So right now for this moment, for this issue, it is null, because we need to, we have to do some kind of configuration, because all the customers are not fully confident on 100% of automation in their environment, because it's production, right? So basically what I see from my customers, they are doing a lot of low level environment like UAT development. They do mimic kind of issues that happening on the production, and they do writing the policies, and they do some kind of rollouts of automations like that. So as I said earlier, not only on application stack, so we do perform the observability on platform. So these are the different uh, platforms that are available. So the Kubernetes, you can see these are the Kubernetes clusters that is available. These are the different namespaces. So when I click on one of the Kubernetes namespace, you can see the total CPU request, memory, port levels, the different logs generated out of these logs, whether there is any harmful logs, the top consuming nodes, namespace, what are the different deployments. So you can see the minute level like nodes, namespace, deployment, daemon sets, stateful sets, cron jobs, Kubernetes service, pods, infrastructure. So you will get an end-to-end visibility. The same way for others like VMware environment. So this is the data center that is running on vSphere. So you can see what are the different EXI hosts, what are the different virtual machines running. So the other main capabilities like we have the SLO level, service level objectives. So nowadays, all the business units, they are measuring based on SLAs and SLOs, right? So in Instana, you can able to configure the SLOs. Yeah. So once it reach, you can get the indications about the main RCA and what are the different deviations from the SLO you defined. So other than that, as I said, we have business process monitoring, we have website monitoring, and this is the just homepage of Instana. So where you can have different options to get monitored. So basically on a high level, this is what I planned for the demo. For a detailed demonstrations, basically I need 1 hour of full time for going to an end-to-end showing from an application perspective.